to B, it is denoted by A conjugated to B. It is denoted by A is conjugated to B. These two elements are, this relation is called as a conjugate relation. Conjugate relation. So we proved that this relation is an equivalence relation. The conjugate relation is an equivalence relation. This conjugate relation, this symbol is an equivalence relation. What is meant by equivalence relation? What is meant by equivalence relation means it's satisfying. Yeah, reflexive.
Reflexive symmetric transitive.
Yeah, reflexive property. A conjugated to E. It is reflexive. Same, both are same. Reflexive property. Then one symmetric property. I don't want to go to the proof. Symmetric property means what? If A conjugated to B, then B is conjugated to E. A conjugated to B, then B is conjugated to A. This property is known as the symmetric property. Number one, transitive property. Last one. Transitive property. Now means if A conjugated to B and B conjugated to C, then A is also conjugated to C. So if these three relations are satisfied, this relation is called as, this relation is an equivalence relation. So that conjugate is an equivalence relation. Next, I want to go for conjugate class. We previously discussed for conjugate elements. Previously we discussed for conjugate elements. Now I am taking for conjugate class. పోయిన సార్ మన సిఎస్ఆర్ లో కూడా వీటి ఎగ్జామ్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగాడు. ఇంతకుముందు కూడా ప్రీవియస్ గా చాలా సార్లు అడుగుతాను. Yeah, JAM is also important one. Conjugate class means my group is G in which A is an element. Then A belongs to, let A belongs to G. Then conjugate class of an element A. Conjugate class of an element A is denoted by CL of A, or sometimes it can be written as CA of, some of textbooks is written as CA. I'm writing this is class of A, and defined by class of A is equal to an element Y inverse AY such that this Y is belongs to G. Already A is an element in G. My group is G. Already A is an element in G. So conjugate class of an element A is equal to Y inverse AY. Conjugate class of A is equal to Y inverse AY. This Y is also belongs to G. So both A and Y are in elements in G. Inverse of Y AY is called as conjugate class of A. Right? Suppose you see. Now I'm giving some examples for this. First one, my question is, if I'm taking group is abelian, what happens? My group is abelian. If G is abelian, what is conjugate class? If G is abelian, then what is my conjugate class of A? You see, Y inverse AY such that Y is belongs to G. Since Y and A are both in G, Y and A are both in G, I can write this is abelian means G is an abelian, it satisfies the commutative property. AB is equal to BA. Here you observe here, A is an element in G, Y is an element in G. I'm writing this is Y inverse of YA such that Y belongs to G. Because of AY is equal to YA. AY is equal to YA since G is an abelian. Then what happens? This is nothing but singleton set A. This is the identity element, E into A, this is equal to E. So when G is an abelian group, conjugate class of an element A is nothing but singleton set A. This is possible only for abelian groups and also cyclic groups. Because of every cyclic group is abelian. So conjugate class of A is equal to singleton set A. What is the cardinality of this? What is the order of this conjugate class of A? What is the order of conjugate class of A? Yes, what the answer, please?
Equals to group order.
Equals to group order or equals to 1?
Equals to.
No, only one element, you know. No. This is only one element, you know.
Yes, sir. 1.
Conjugate class of A is equal, when the group is abelian group, when the group is an abelian group, conjugate class of a particular element A is equal to that single term set A, so that the number of elements in this conjugate class only one, whose order is equal to 1. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So order of conjugate class of A is equal to 1. So, right. My next question is, suppose I am taking one group is abelian group, my G is equal to Z8. My group is Z8. So I want to construct what is conjugate class of an element 2, because of in Z8 we have the elements are Z8,
Yes.
0, 1, 2
7.
up to 7. Yeah. Can you say what is the conjugate class of 2?
1.
Conjugate class of 2? My 2 is an element in Z8.
Z8 is abelian.
Yes. Z8 is an
One,
abelian
one,
group because
one.
of Z8 is an abelian group. Abelian group. Z8 is an abelian group. So that conjugate class of 2 is nothing but single term set 2. If it is not abelian, we can check the properties. If it is an abelian or cyclic, if it is either abelian or cyclic, if it is cyclic, because of every cyclic is abelian, so we can use this condition. Right. So class of conjugate class of 2 is equal to 2. Now the order of conjugate class of 2 is equal to 1. Am I right? So if you take any element, the conjugate class of an abelian group, this is equal to conjugate class of another 0, 1, single term set 1. Conjugate class of 1 is also, yeah, this is 0, I think. This is 1, right? And so on. Conjugate class of 7 is also equal to single term set. All the orders are same. All the orders are same. You see, what is the union of these all conjugate classes?
Z8.
Yes. Union of all conjugate classes, class of A is belongs to G. Union of conjugate class of A belongs to G. This is nothing but single term set 0, union single term set 1, union and so on, single term set 7, because of A belongs to Z8 here. This is equal to Z8. This is equal to Z8. So union of conjugate class of, when G is an abelian group, union of A belongs to Z8 class of A is equal to this one. I repeat it once again. When the group is either cyclic or abelian group, conjugate class of a particular element is equal to that element only. That element only. In this case, yeah, right? Union is equal to Z8. Suppose I am taking non-abelian group. My third one point is, I am taking non-abelian group. My non-abelian group is G is equal to, I take S3 this one. Yeah, my G is equal to Z8, Z6 cross Z8. This is the direct product, internal direct product. G is the group G is equal to Z6 cross Z8. All right, and 1, 3. What are the elements are there? Elements. What are the elements are there? Can you construct this one? Z6 cross Z8. Because of it is an ordered pair A comma B, such that A belongs to Z6 and B belongs to Z8. AB such that A belongs to Z6, B belongs to Z8. A taken, how many elements are there? A? 6 possibilities. Either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities. B for 0,
8.
1, 2 up to 7. Okay, ఇక్కడ 0, 1, 2, 5. ఇక్కడ 6 possibilities ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ కూడా 8 possibilities ఉన్నాయి. So in which my question is conjugate class of 1, 3 అడిగాను. Conjugate class of 1, 3. So G is equal to Z6 cross Z8. Then find conjugate class of any ordered pair 1, 3. Is it 1, 3? Now solution for this. Now this is a cyclic group. It is an abelian group. Z6 cross Z8 is an abelian group. G is because of Z6 is abelian, Z8 is abelian, right? So Z6 product of 2 abelian groups is again abelian group. This is abelian. So Z6 is abelian, Z8 is abelian. Product of it Cartesian product of these two abelian groups is an abelian group. In which one element is, suppose here I am taking one element, here element is 3. So 1, 3 is an element in Z6, Z8. My question is class of 1, 3. What is the answer, please? Anybody?
1, sir.
Anybody?
1.
No. This G is equal to Z6 cross Z8 is an abelian group. Cartesian product of, already you know that A means A cross B. A cross B is an ordered pair A comma B such that A comma A belongs to capital A, B belongs to capital B. So like this is an group. మీకు ఒకసారి వీటికి సంబంధించి ఇంటర్నల్ డైరెక్ట్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ డైరెక్ట్ ప్రోడక్ట్ గురించి ఒక క్లాస్ చెప్తానండి అవసరమైతే. సరే ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ అక్కడికి వెళ్తలేను, ఇక్కడ చూడండి. వాట్ ఈస్ క్లాస్ ఆఫ్ 1, 3? ఎవరైనా? Because of Z6 is abelian, Z8 is abelian.
Equal to 1, 3 also, sir.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Because of whenever this is abelian group, class of this because of outcomes are ordered pairs. So is there any element, another element, class of here it is 5, here it is 7. What is class of 5, 7?
5,
It is 5, 7. Just you identify either it is abelian or not, because of this is abelian, this is abelian. Product, the Cartesian product is abelian, therefore G is also abelian. This is like this. Next, it is a previous JL question. If G is a cyclic group, and A belongs to G is cyclic group and A belongs to G, then the conjugate class of, conjugate CLA, conjugate class of A. Answer please. G is a cyclic group, then the conjugate class of A.
Greater than A.
Simple answer. Because of every cyclic group is abelian group. Every cyclic is abelian. Automatically, because of this cyclic group, it is abelian. Though that conjugate class of A is nothing but singleton set A. Next, what is conjugate class of an identity element E? Any group.
E itself.
Yes. Any group, is it possible? No,
sir.
I'm not asking for abelian. Abelian guరించి మాట్లాడతలేను. If G is a group, just a group. If G is a group,
Any group E, sir.
any group.
Any group అయినా E అవుతుంది.
Oh, very good. If G is a group, then what is conjugate class of identity element E? According to our definition, there exists an element Y inverse E Y such that Y belongs to G. This is the definition of conjugate class. Yes, EY is equal to Y inverse EY is equal to Y such that Y belongs to G. Therefore, this again Y inverse of Y is identity element. Therefore, class of identity is equal to identity element E set of always order of class of an identity element E is equal to 1. Order of class of an identity element is always equal to 1. Right? So this is the way to calculating conjugate class of an element. Suppose I'm taking classification. Yeah, conjugate class equation. Conjugate class equation. ఇది మన్నగానే అంతకుముందు CSR లో కూడా అడిగారు ఇట్లాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్. ఇది మీరు చాలా చూడండి. Now in this context I discuss for how many conjugate classes, what is the conjugate class equation, right? First I'm taking one quaternion group conjugate class equation of Q4. ఒక సింపుల్ గ్రూప్ తీసుకుంటాను. quaternion group తీసుకుంటాను. How many elements are there here? Q4 is equal to plus or minus 1 plus or minus I plus or minus J plus or minus K.
8
Where 8 elements. I square is equal to J square is equal to K square is equal to minus 1. Yeah, we know that I dot J is equal to J dot K is equal I dot J is equal to what? K. Yeah, I dot J is equal to K. Cyclic order is
Yes.
okay. In case
dot
it
K
is not
is equal to
cyclic, yeah, J dot I is
minus.
equal to minus K.
minus K.
Right? I dot J is equal to K, but J dot I is equal to minus K. Next, Right. Next, j dot k is equal to I. K dot j is equal to minus I. It is a cyclic. In case if they are in cyclic order, next element I, j, k. Yeah, I dot j is equal to k, j dot k is equal to I, k dot I is equal to j. Right? I dot j is equal to k, j dot k is equal to I, k dot I is equal to j. In case I dot k minus j. Okay, clear? Now I want to find classification of each element. Now I want to calculate classification of 1, classification of -1, I, minus I, j, minus j, k, minus k. Right. According to our definition, classification of A, class of A is equal to y inverse AY such that Y is in group G. So first I am taking element is 1 this. Class of 1 is equal to, how to write this one? Class of Y is equal to Y inverse 1 Y. Y is belongs to Q4. It means it's look like instead of Y, I'm taking all elements in Q4. Instead of Y, I'm taking all elements in Q4. Suppose my Y is equal to 1. What is the inverse of 1?
1.
Y is equal to 1 తీసుకుంటే 1 కి ఇన్వర్స్ 1 అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏం రాయొచ్చు? 1 1 1. In case next element is -1. Y is equal to -1 తీసుకున్నాం. -1 తీసుకుంటే y కి ఇన్వర్స్ ఎవరు అవుతారు? -1. అప్పుడు ఏం రాయొచ్చు చెప్పండి నేను? -1 -1. రైట్. నెక్స్ట్ j తీసుకుంటున్నాను. నెక్స్ట్ I తీసుకోండి. I తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? మై y is equal to I. What is the inverse of I? Minus I. Because of I into minus I. I into minus I. This is equal to minus I square. So minus of -1 plus 1 identity element. Therefore, yeah. So what is the inverse of I? Minus I, right? Yeah, minus I. Minus I into product. I inverse is, I am taking I whose inverse is minus I. సరే ఇక్కడ 1 ఉండాలా ఏముండాలండి? 1 ఉండాలి. 1 తో రాయాలి. అన్ని కాంబినేషన్ ఉంది. తర్వాత మైనస్ ఐ కి ఇన్వర్స్ ఏమవుతుందండి? ఒకవేళ y is equal to minus I తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. Y is equal to minus I. వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఇన్వర్స్ ఆఫ్ minus I? అది ఓకే. ఇక్కడ 1 సేమ్ ఉంటుందండి. క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ 1 ఇవి చేంజ్ అవుతా ఉంటాయి. ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతాయి. రైట్. సో ఇక్కడ I, యా నెక్స్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ minus I దిస్
minus I.
అప్పుడు మైనస్ ఐ కి ఏమైతుంది? ఇన్వర్స్ ఏమైతుంది? I అవుతుంది. I 1 minus I. రైట్. సిమిలర్లీ ఇలా చెప్పేసేయండి. నెక్స్ట్ j తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఏమైతుందండి? y is equal to j తీసుకుంటే j కి ఇన్వర్స్ minus j. Please minus j 1
j 1 minus j.
j 1 minus j. Very good.
Yes.
Then I j next
k minus k
1 k
and k 1 minus
k
k.
1 minus k. These are the elements. Right. Look here. This is equal to, after expansion of this, 1 1 1, all are the identity elements. This is nothing but 1. -1 I minus 1. This is again 1. What about this one? Minus I minus I 1 I minus I square. It is 1. Am I right? Are you okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Then what about this one? I into minus I minus I square. It is again 1.
1.
Yeah. All are gives minus j 1 minus j square. It is 1. All are gives all the 1 terms.
Yes.
Therefore, this is equal to single term set 1. Already we proved that in any group, because of 1 is the identity element, 1 is the identity element, class of identity element is always identity only. Class of identity element is always identity only. So that class of 1 is equal to what? Single term set 1. Order of class of 1? Order of class of 1 is only single element. Cardinality of this class is equal to 1. Similarly, I want to find, what about -1? Can you guess -1 classification? -1 is not identity element. -1 is not identity element. So that class of -y construct చేయాలనుకోండి. ఎలా రాస్తారో చెప్పగలరు? పైదాన్ని చూసేసి మిడిల్ లో -1 పెట్టేసాలి. జస్ట్ yeah, you observe this one. Just I am taking this is a -1. Same elements రాసేసుకుంటారా? Right. First I'm taking middle one is -1. 1 తీసుకుంటాను. 1 inverse is 1. Next one ఇంకేం తీసుకొచ్చండి? -1 తీసుకున్నాం.
-1, sir.
-1 1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 -1 - Next.
In the middle, it is minus
Middle
one.
minus
Very
one,
good,
sir.
very good, very good. Right. Next. I.
I.
I in minus I, minus 1, I. So, Elina, no problem. Next time, I minus 1,
one.
minus I.
Minus I.
Right. Next, J,
J minus one.
J
J.
minus 1, minus
J.
J. Minus J or J?
Yes.
Minus J.
Yes. Minus J.
Minus J,
Minus
minus
one.
1,
J.
J. Next, minus
K.
K, minus 1, K.
K.
K minus 1,
Minus one. Minus K.
minus K. That's all. Now, after simplifying of this, what happens? This is 1 minus 1 minus 1. It is nothing but minus 1. Here also, this is what? Minus 1.
Minus one.
So, I minus 1, I minus minus plus I into I square minus 1. All are gives minus 1. This is nothing minus 1. So, classification of minus 1, class of minus 1 is equal to, it is what? Minus
Minus
1.
one.
Order of this is equal to order. Order of
Order
class
is
of
one.
minus 1 is equal to
1.
Similarly, I want find. Similarly, I want find classification of what? Indian is called it I. Classification of I is equal to. ఇది ఒక్కటి చేసి మిగతా సిమిలర్లీ రాసేద్దాం. చెప్పండి, what is the classification of I?
1.
Yes.
I.
1 I 1.
Minus. Okay. Yes.
సార్ వన్ డౌట్
One.
చెప్పండి సార్, చెప్పండి సార్.
సార్ క్వాటర్నియన్ గ్రూప్ ఎబిలియన్ కదా
No. Quaternion group is non-abelian group. This is a non-abelian group whose subgroups are abelian. It's a beautiful example. Good question. It is a non-abelian group. Quaternion group a non-abelian group. Abelian group అయితే ప్రాబ్లం లేదండి. abelian అయితే ఇంత చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. నాన్ abelian group అందుకోసం మనకి ఎగ్జామినేషన్ ఎక్కువ ఏం అడుగుతాడంటే S3, S4, S5, D2, D3, D4 ల గురించి అడుగుతాడు. Because of these are symmetric groups, these are non-abelian groups. Non-abelian group లో Q4. అదే Kelian4 కూడా అడగాడు. Because of Kelian4 is an abelian group కాబట్టి దాని గురించి అడగాడు. ఇది non-abelian. Right? Whose subgroups are abelian.
సార్
Okay, clear sir?
ఓకే సార్
So classification of I, 1 I 1. Next. Minus 1 తీసుకోవచ్చా? Y is equal to minus 1 తీసుకుంటాం అనుకోండి. Minus 1 కి ఇన్వర్స్ minus 1 I minus 1. నెక్స్ట్ J I తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. I కి ఇన్వర్స్ ఏమైతుంది? యా సేమ్ I minus I. Minus I into I. Am I right? Next. Yeah, J I whose inverse is minus J. Minus J, please make it I J. Yeah, K I minus K. Suppose y place lo minus K తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. Minus K I whose inverse is plus K. Right. Yeah, please mute it. Then yeah, can you say the answer please? Anybody? I'm giving time for him. What is the answer please? Answer please.
I, sir.
Yeah, first one is I. Next,
Second one is also I.
I,
Third one is also I.
I.
Total I.
Annayena. I into I square.
I
Minus 1 into minus
Yes,
I.
sir.
Plus I.
Yes, sir.
Ikkada.
I.
Oh, sir,
అన్ని అయ్యే సార్.
Sure.
ఇక్కడ
Now you check J into I.
జే సార్ జే వస్తుంది సార్
J into I minus K.
Minus K.
Minus K into I.
Minus K into minus I. This is K into I. K into I is equal to?
J.
జే
K into I is equal to J.
J.
Something is wrong is there. K into I is not J. This is J minus I. It is minus J. Yeah. J I minus J. This is my question. J into I is equal to
J into I equals to minus K.
minus K. Then minus
To
K
minus
into
J.
minus J.
Minus plus K into J.
K
I.
into J is equal to? K into J is equal to minus I. Yeah.
Minus I.
Right. Here I some minus I is also there. So only two elements. One is I and minus I. It is repeated. Therefore, class equation of I is equal to I comma minus I. Similarly, I'm writing. I'm not go through the entire. Similarly, classification of minus I is also equal to I comma minus I. Minus I చేసినా కూడా ఇదే classification వస్తుంది. So classification of J చేశాను అనుకోండి. Can you guess classification of J is equal to J comma minus J. Yeah, which is also equal to classification of minus J also. Classification of K is equal to K comma minus K, right? Which is also equal to classification of minus K. Right, look here. And now the classification of equal వచ్చినవి ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ, ఈక్వల్స్ ఏమున్నాయి ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉన్నాయి చూడండి ఒకసారి. How many disjoint classifications? How many disjoint classifications? The disjoint
Only one.
classifications ఒకటి CL of 1 ఒకటి వచ్చింది. CL of 1 is equal to 1. CL of minus 1 is equal to minus 1. CL of I is same as CL of minus I.
8
ఇవి రెండు
వస్తున్నాయి.
సేమ్. ఓకేనా? CL of J is equal to CL of minus J. ఇవి రెండు సేమ్.
5
CL of
వస్తున్నాయి.
K is equal to CL of minus K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 వస్తున్నాయి.
Number of ఏమనొచ్చు, number of conjugate classes of conjugate classes class of Q4. Q4 లో ఉన్నటువంటి conjugate classes ఎన్ని? 5. Number of conjugate classes ఎన్ని వచ్చినాయండి? 5. Look here. What is the order of CL1? Order of CL of 1.
1.
Yes. Union. Order of CL of minus 1.
1.
Union. Right. Order of, before that, sorry, this is equal to, yeah, classification of 1 union, classification of minus 1 union, classification of I union, classification of J union, classification of K. Can you say anybody? This is nothing but classification of 1 is 1.
One.
Singleton set 1. Union, it is minus 1.
1 minus 1. I minus
Union,
I.
I minus I. Union.
Q4 వస్తుంది సార్.
Yes. J minus J union K minus K. Right. Therefore, this is nothing but Q8. It's nothing but, sorry, Q4. Quaternary group Q4. So I'm dealing this one. I'm writing this as union of these two classifications. Union of these 5 classification is represents Q4. Therefore, union of class of A. Right, sir? Union of class of A. Na? ఎట్లా రాయొచ్చండి? యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ క్లాస్ ఆఫ్ ఏ. A belongs to what? What is A in Q4 is equal to Q8. Q4. This is one part. So what is my order? What about the order? Order of this classification of 1. Order of classification of minus 1.
1.
Order of classification of minus 1 plus order of classification of minus 1. This is 1. This is minus 1 plus order of classification of I plus order of classification of J plus order of classification of K. What is the answer, please? Classification of 1 is order of classification of 1. ఇది కూడా 1 ఏ.
Total
Order of
5.
classification of I 2 అవుతుంది. ఇది 2 కదా? This is 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2 because of order of classification of I minus I కాబట్టి cardinality 2 అవుతుంది. Total value is
8.
8. What is the order of Q4?
8.
So what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? This is nothing but order of Q4. This is nothing but order of Q4. Therefore, sum of the orders of the classification of a group is equal to order of a group. This indicates summation. ఎలా రాయొచ్చండి? Order of classification of A is equal to order of Q4, where A belongs to Q4. Order of summation of sigma A belongs to Q4. Order of classification of A is equal to order of Q4, and another one is union of classification of an elements is equal to same group Q4. So now my question is, what is the classification? What is the classification of group? This is my classification. మనకి ఎగ్జామ్ లో అడిగేది ఇలా అడుగుతాడు. ఆర్డర్ 8 classification of in Q4 ఆర్డర్ 8 is equal to ఎలా రాయొచ్చు దీన్ని? 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. This is the classification. Order of Q4 is 8. 8 can be written as a 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. How many conjugate classes?
5.
5. ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనకు 6 ఇచ్చింది అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ 8 అయ్యేటట్టు 6 ఇస్తాడు, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 అంటాడు. 6 ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, ఇది కావడానికి ఛాన్స్ లేదు, ఎందుకంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాంజుగేట్ క్లాసెస్ is only 5. సో నెంబర్ 5 కాంజుగేట్ క్లాసెస్. 5 conjugate classes. I repeat. So the classification of Q4 is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. This is classification of a group, quaternion group Q4. It is a non-abelian group. In case it is an abelian, can you say anybody what is the classification?
1.
1 plus 1 plus 1 plus
1 plus
all
1
are
plus
ones.
8.
All are ones. Why? Because of classification of element. ఒకవేళ అది కనుక abelian అయింది అనుకోండి. In case it is an abelian, we run at a classification of 1 1 classification of -1 is also -1, and the order of the classification is 1. Therefore, their sum 1 plus 1 plus 1, so that we can write like this. So these are the classes. ఒకవేళ 8, the classification of a group of order 8 ఇలా రాశాడు, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. Is it correct?
No.
Classification of a group of order 8 ఇలా రాశాడు. Is it correct?
No, sir.
Wrong. Because of how many conjugate classes of Q4? Q4 has
5,
only 5 conjugate classes. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here 6 conjugate classes. It is discard. Appudu danni manam eliminate chesukon. Okay, clear? So this is a way to calculating the conjugate classes of a non-abelian group. Suppose I am giving some abelian group conjugate classes structure. Abelian aithe ela untundi? A group of order 1, 2, 3, 4 like this untunnam. Suppose my group is G, whose order is order of G. Group తీసుకుంటున్నాము, తర్వాత the classification ఏమవుతుంది? What is the class equation? Class equation. Right. Suppose I am taking only the group of order 1. Order of a group is equal to 1 ఉంది. Order of a group is 1, which is isomorphic to Z1. Am I right? Because of how many elements are there in Z1?
1.
Only one element, that is single term set 0. Z1 is equal to single term set 0. One element, one of them. What is the, is it abelian?
Yes.
Yes, it is an abelian group. Therefore, what is the class equation?
1.
1 only. So because of it is abelian. It is abelian whose class equation is 1. Suppose I am taking 2 elements, group of order 2, which is isomorphic to a group Z2. Z2 order is 2, prime number. It is must be abelian. A group of order prime number. So it is an abelian. It consisting 2 elements. Now what is the classification?
1 plus 1.
Because of class of 0 is equal to 1, classification of 1 is equal to 1. Sum of these two classifications is nothing but 1 plus 1. Are you okay? Next, a group of order 3, Z3, isomorphic to Z3. A group of order 3, a finite group of order 3, which is isomorphic to Z3. Z3 contains 3 elements. 0, 1, 2. What is the classification of 0? 1A. Classification of 1, 1A. Order. Classification of 2 also order 1. Therefore, 1 plus 1 plus 1. Is it abelian?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is an abelian. Because of group of order is prime order. A group of order, prime order is always abelian as well as cyclic. Therefore, it is cyclic. Each order of classification is 1. Therefore, 1 plus 1 plus 1. Abelian కాబట్టి అన్ని 1 1 లే వస్తాయండి. ఫస్ట్ మీరు abelian అవుతుందా కదా చూసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకు అవుతుందంటే మీకు చూడండి, class of 0, order of class of 0 is 1 element. చూడండి, class of 0 1 అవుతుంది అంటే సింగిల్ టర్మ్ సెట్ 0. Class of 1 is single term set 1. Class of 2 is equal to single term set 2. Order is equal to 1. ఇక్కడ కూడా order 1 కాబట్టి 1 plus 1 plus 1. Yeah. 4. Chiranjeev garu. Right. Now 4 elements. A group of order 4. A group of order 4. Yeah, it is can be order of G is equal to 4, which is isomorphic to Z4. Which is isomorphic to Z4. Yeah, ఇంకా 4 elements ఉంటాయి. ఈ గ్రూప్ లో 4 elements ఉంటాయండి. ఇంకా 4 elements ఉంటే గ్రూప్ ఏదైనా ఉందా మీ దగ్గర? ఐడియా రావాలి. K4, Kn4 గ్రూప్. అవునా? It is a Z4. 4 order of G is equal to Z4 is equal to 4.
Abelian.
Yeah, it is abelian. Okay, cyclic and is abelian.
1 plus 1 plus 1.
ఇది
abelian.
abelian. ఇది కూడా abelian అవుతుంది. ఇది సైక్లిక్ అవుతుందా? కాకపోతే ఇది సైక్లిక్ కూడా అవుతుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ abelian but not cyclic. It is also ఇది సైక్లిక్ కూడా అవుతుంది. A group of order 4 is a cyclic because of we have a generator is there. So whenever it is an abelian, ఈ కేసులో 4 elements ఉంటే ఈ రెండు తీసుకుంటాం. It is non-cyclic. It is abelian but not non-cyclic. Yeah. Yes. Tell me that. What is the classification of Z4? Z4 కున్నప్పుడు వచ్చేది 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. ఇక్కడ 1 plus 1 plus 1 4. ఆర్డర్ 4 ఏమని రాయొచ్చు? 1 plus 1 plus. ఇది కూడా abelian కాబట్టి ఈ రెండిటికి సేమ్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్. Same classification. Right. 5 elements. I'm taking 5 elements. It is isomorphic to Z5. Z5 is cyclic or abelian?
Abelian.
Abelian as well as prime order, it is cyclic. A group of order prime number, it consisting 5 elements, cyclic. What is the classification? 5 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many conjugate classes?
5.
5. 6 తీసుకుందాము. 6 తీసుకుంటే ఇది Z6. ఇంకా 6 elements ఉండే గ్రూప్ మీకు దగ్గర తెలుసు ఒకటి చెప్పగలరా ఎవరైనా? A group of order 6, that is the symmetric group.
But S3.
S3. This case, these two are the isomorphic because of this group consisting 6 elements. S3 is also consisting 6 elements. But Z6 what?
Abelian.
Abelian. S3 non-abelian. S3 is non-abelian. So now you say anybody, what is the classification of this?
1 plus 1 plus 1.
It is very clear. This 6 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 classes. Now, what is the classification of S3? Classification of S3. Yeah, we call it the classification of S3. This having only 3 classifications. S3 having only 3 classifications because of
1, 3, 2.
Yes, n is equal to 3 actually. How many partitions are possible? 3 can be written as 1 is 3, 2 plus 1. Important 1 plus 1 plus 1. These are the 3 possibilities of partition of 3. Partition of 3 దీనికి 3 possibilities ఉంటాయండి. నేను ఇక్కడ డైరెక్ట్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను. దీని ఎలా వచ్చిందో మీకు చెప్తాను. 1 plus 2 plus 3. నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాబ్లం అదే. S3 కు ఉన్నటువంటి క్లాస్ ఈక్వేషన్ అండి. ఇట్ ఈస్ abelian. ఓకే. ఇన్ కేస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాన్ abelian, S3 కి వచ్చేసరికి ఇలా ఉంటుంది క్లాస్ ఈక్వేషన్. Z6 కి ఇలా ఉంటుంది. రైట్. ఐ విల్ ప్రూవ్ డీటెయిల్స్ నౌ అండి. నెక్స్ట్ గో ఫర్ ఆర్డర్ 7. 7 order is isomorphic to Z7. 7 order is isomorphic to Z7. Yeah. What is the classification of Z7? It's abelian.
1 plus 1 plus 1 plus
Yes.
1 plus
1 plus 1 plus 7 times of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 is equal to like this. 8 అండి. Z8. ఇంకా కూడా Q4 కూడా ఉంటుంది కదా? ఉంటుందా? Z8 రాసుకోవచ్చు. ఇంకోటి Z2 cross Z4 because of order of this Cartesian, this group is equal to 2 4 is 8. Z2 cross Z4 order product of these 2 4 is 8. ఇంకా మీకు ఇంకా తెలుసు Q4 కూడా తెలుసు. Z2 cross Z2. It is also form a group. Order of this group is equal to 8. Then another one is Q4. తర్వాత 8 order కావాలంటే D4 also, dihedral group. Make in general you see dihedral group Dn, order of Dn is equal to 2 times of n. Dn is a dihedral group. Order of Dn is equal to 2n. In case మనకు టైం దొరికితే ఒకసారి dihedral groups మీద మళ్ళీ స్పెషల్ క్లాస్ తీసుకుంటాను. Order of a dihedral group is equal to n. Suppose what is order of D2? 4 elements. Order of D2 is equal to 4 elements. Order of D4 square 8 elements ఉంటాయి. Order of D4 is equal to 8. So these are the 4 1 2 3 5 possibilities. Yeah, music please. It is an important one. It is an important one. You keep the star mark. 8 order of an elements is 8, which is isomorphic to Z8, Z2 cross Z4, Z2 cross Z2 cross Z2, 2 2 4 8. This is Q4 and D4. Now you observe what is Z8 is abelian. It is abelian. It is abelian because of Z2 is abelian. Z2, so product of these abelian groups is an abelian. Yes, Z2 abelian, Z4 is abelian. Product is also abelian. It is also abelian. What about this one? Non-abelian groups. These two are non-abelian groups. These two are non-abelian. So that whenever these two are abelian, what are the classification of these three? 8 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 is repeated how many times? 8 times. 8 times of 1. But already we proved that what is the classification of Q4? Q4 order, just now we proved that 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Yes, this is the classification. Because of these two are non-abelian groups. These two are non-abelian groups. So D4 is non-abelian, Q4 is also non-abelian. Therefore, these two are having same classification. So if we explain the classification of D4 is like this, classification of Q4 is also same. So D4 లో ఎలిమెంట్స్ మనకు తెలుసు కండి, దీని గురించి డీటెయిల్స్ నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో తీసుకుందాము. ఇక్కడ A, B, C, D తీసుకుంటే మనకు D4 is equal to R0, R90, yes, R180 degrees. So these are the rotations and rotations and horizontal transformations and vertical and diagonals. Next class లో వీటి గురించి మాట్లాడతాము తర్వాత. Is clear? Yeah. The classification of order of an element is 8. These are the two possibilities. One is this one and one is this one. Now 9 elements, what happens? A group of order 9, which is isomorphic to Z9, and also another one is Z3 cross Z3. 3 3s are 9. So Z3 cross Z3, Z9, right? It is what? Order of Z9 is equal to 3 square. It is a prime square. Order of a group is prime number. It is an abelian or cyclic. Cyclic. Am I right? Order of a group is prime square. ఇది abelian అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి abelian అంటే ఏంటి? ఇక్కడ ఏం రాయొచ్చు? 9 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many times? 9 times. 9 times of 1. Now Z3 cross Z3. Z3 cross Z3 is also abelian because of Z3 abelian. So therefore it is also abelian. So it is on only one classification. Both are having same classification. This one. So I repeat once again. Z9 is a group of order 9. It can be written as 3 square. A group of order prime square, p power 2. Therefore it is always abelian. It is cyclic. Yeah, all are classification of 1 plus 1. It is also. Finally 10 elements. Which is isomorphic to what? Z10 dihedral group lo D5 ఎంత అవుతుందండి? What is D5? 2 times of 5, 2n. This is 10 elements. Yes, this is D5. Yeah, now look here. This is abelian. What about this one? Non-abelian. Dihedral groups are non-abelian. D5 is non-abelian. Z8 is abelian. Therefore, sorry, Z8 or Z10? Sorry.
Z10.
So what is the classification? 10 can be written as all are ones. 1 plus 1 plus 1. It is 10 times. Yeah. Therefore, now a group of order 10, it is D5 dihedral group. This classification 10 is equal to 1 plus, because of identity element order is always 1. Okay, any element of classification of an identity element is order is 1 ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత next 2 plus 5 అండి. Later we can prove this one. D5 కి క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఇలా ఉంటుంది. నేను S3 S5 కొన్ని చేస్తాను, తర్వాత వీటి గురించి తీసుకుంటాను. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బ్రీఫ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అబౌట్ దట్ ఆర్డర్ ఆఫ్ అప్ టు 10 వరకు తీసుకున్నానండి. ఇవి మనం కొంచెం గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్ లో ఈజీగా అయిపోతుంది. మొత్తం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ఇక్కడ వరకు అయితే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఇక S3 S4 S5 కి గుర్తుండదు కాబట్టి ఎట్లా చేయాలనేది ఐ విల్ గివ్ ద క్లారిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. నౌ టైమ్ ఈజ్ సపోజ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ S3. ఇంతకుముందు రాసాంగా 1 plus 2 plus 3 రాసాము. నా దాని గురించి మాట్లాడు. Find the classification of class equation of a group S3 తీసుకోండి. S3 కి చేస్తే మీరు S4 S5 ఇది ఏదైనా తీసుకోవచ్చండి. క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఫైండ్ ద క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ S3 దీంతో మీరు చేయొచ్చు. What is the elements of this group? S3 consisting order of S3 is equal to ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయండి? 6 elements. 3 factorial is equal to 6 element. So this is my group G అనుకుందాం. Order of G. So G is equal to the group of S3 elements. S3 is equal to G is equal to S3 is equal to whose elements are identity element 1 I 1 2 1 3 2 3. Yeah, next ఇంకోటి 1 3 1 2 3 3 order elements 1 3. These are the elements in S3. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 elements. So these 3 elements of మీకు ఇంతకుముందు మనం ఒక ప్రాబ్లం పెట్టారు సార్, దానికి మీకు ఆన్సర్ చేసి పెట్టినాను చూడండి. ఇన్ S3 how many elements of order 2?
3.
చాలా సార్లు ఈ క్వశ్చన్ అడిగారండి. ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏ గ్రూప్ S3 ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ 2 ఉండేవి ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయండి?
3.
3 ఉంటాయి. 3 ఆర్డర్ ఉండేవి
2.